Hello everybody and welcome back to another installment of the Book of the Week from the Vermont Center of Photography's James D. Atget Library. I'm Luke Stroh-Snyder. I'm a member here at VCP. I love photography books, and today we're going to be looking at Berenice Abbott and Eugene Atget. The history of photography is a conversation. From time to time, photographers look back and try to figure out what went on before that enabled them to create their own new vision. That was very much the case with Berenice Abbott. Abbott, a photographer of note in her own right, was the assistant to Man Ray in Paris in the 1920s, and at the time had the pleasure of meeting Eugene Atget. Atget was not very well known at the time, but Abbott took a great interest in his archive and ended up purchasing it and making sure that it was seen by the world. This book is a bit of an interesting piece because it doesn't have a great deal of photographs by Berenice Abbott. In fact, it only has one all the way at the end. We do have a portrait of Atget by Berenice Abbott. But otherwise, this entire book is bringing to the world this great archive of Atget's. Eugene Atget was a photographer in Paris. His life spanned from the 1850s to the 1920s, and he was among the first to actually take to the streets and make images of what we would kind of think of as everyday life in Paris in this era. And it would be these images that sort of laid the foundation for a lot of photography that would come later in the 20th century. The idea that life on the street was something to be captured, to be commemorated, was something that Atget was among the first to realize. And his images spanned sort of the workers and the people on the streets of Paris, to the architecture that would later, in some cases survive, in some cases disappear as Paris evolved as a city. But altogether, it forms this portrait of the sort of everyday life of Paris. And it was something that Berenice Abbott would want to commemorate, would want to promote, and would later sort of mimic in her own projects. So we also have in our library New York in the 30s, photographs by Berenice Abbott. And Abbott, in the style of Atget, took to the streets of New York City to do a somewhat similar project. Architecture, shop fronts, restaurants, churches, buildings old and new, sort of together. And so through these two books, we see sort of an evolution of an idea of what photography is. Something that exists in the past and then is re-seen in the present through another one's eyes. But this book is in particular very special in that it creates a sense of Atget's work. It has a beautiful sequencing that takes us through interiors, exteriors, life on the street, architecture, industry of Paris, parks, and all the sorts of things that we think of when we think of just that sense of photography that is intended to be kind of a portrait of a place. The book ends with a wonderful essay by Abbott called The World of Atget, where she speaks a little bit about her experience getting to know him and his work, and sort of what it all meant to her to come together and create not only the opportunity to preserve the work of a great photographer, but a direction for her own work in New York in the early part of the 20th century. So that's Berenice Abbott and Eugene Atget. We have New York in the 30s by Berenice Abbott as well, if you'd like to come to VCP and take a look at some of her work. And we've got Eugene Atget books of all sorts. Another version, The World of Atget by Berenice Abbott, Unknown Paris, and then this incredible 4-volume set, The Work of Atget, published by the Museum of Modern Art, that takes us through essentially his entire career. So, if you have a chance, come to VCP. Check out the James D. Atget Library here. It's open whenever VCP is open, and you're always welcome to come in free of charge and have a look at the collection. If you're a member, you can even check these books out and take them home and enjoy them that way. So that's Berenice Abbott, Eugene Atget, our book of the week. If you like these videos, do us a favor, please follow us on YouTube, check out our Instagram. We're going to have more books to come. Hope to see you again soon. Atget photographs are God.
Forrest!
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Go a great deal of, sorry. That Eugene's art. Oh, Forrest, we're gonna need you to stop breathing.
Yeah.